What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Welcome back to another episode of The Red Carpet.
I will be already. I'll be there.
Yes, exactly. That's what we like to see. Big up KG, big up Saeed. Adam will be joining us in around about, 15 minutes time or so. Plenty to discuss today. It's about a week until Ruben Amorim comes in as the Manchester United head coach. And my, oh my, challenge does he have on his hands when it comes to the attacking play at Manchester United. We're going to be discussing that. We're going to be discussing individual players, our front line, who he's got to work with, how he's going to work with it. There is so much to get into. Obviously, very quickly before we start, guys, as you can see on the screen at the moment, no flex with us this evening. As you can imagine, very intense day with everything that's been going on the last 24 hours or so. So he's got the evening off, relaxing, chilling, decompressing, as he should, obviously. But I think the rest of the panel would probably echo this. We've seen it all on social media today. Completely behind Flex, total love, total support as a colleague. Most importantly, as a friend, as all friends here, I think seeing the outpouring of support today has been overwhelming, to say the least. Yes. So big up to Flex, big up to the football community, big up to everyone, whether he knows you, doesn't know you, or in between. I know Flex kind of touched on this morning anyway, but I know to him, certainly the wide-ranging love and support, it really, really does mean a lot. And obviously, I know this evening, lots of people want to be sending messages of support, super chats, member chats, messages in the chat, what have you. We'll get them up on the screen as we go. Might not be able to read every single one out, but we'll get them up on the screen as we go through. So big up to Flex, big love and support as always, and he'll be back with us tomorrow.
Sorry, did we say anything on that? You want to quickly say anything on that?
I phoned him last night, man, and I wanted just to kind of, just say that we're all with him, man, and it's just that has no place in society, man, let alone football, man, and hopefully the full force of the consequences, because for me, you know what I mean, she said what she said and she meant it. So for us, it's a solidarity. Big up Maguire. Few other people that have shown love and that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Full support.
Yeah, big up indeed, big up. Right, let's move on to football.
Yesterday. Saeed.
Oh, really? Start off hot, KG. Start off hot, KG. Go.
Bro, Saeed, I was watching your video, bro. You know me, I'm locked in. I'm a subscriber, bro. I need you to not treat Garnacho like Rashford, bro. You can't treat him in the same. You see Garnacho right now, and I know it's not youth tax. Yeah, but there's something needs to be provided with this player that we don't do, because I would say if we look back on the Rashford treatment, a lot of it's Rashford, but the Man United fans have a big part to play in some of Rashford's, just where Rashford is. And I just want us to look after this guy a bit more than we have looked after Rashford. Because Rashford kind of looks like he doesn't like it here at times. He's been upset at times. He's got into arguments with the fans at times. We need to be responsible, is the point I'm making.
Responsible for what sense? Are we talking about like we've written him off? I've not done that. For me, I very, very much criticized what he was and the way he played last night. I thought it was, for me, arrogant. I thought it was, for me, a guy who just, for me, wasn't a team player today, man. And I called him out. And listen, man, he's 20 years old, man. I've seen people like Lamine Yamal right now who are balling out.
He's special. That kid's special.
He's special.
Is that an outlier? That feels like an outlier.
No. Because for me, it's like, outlier. I think for me, this is a player that's been playing now for 2 seasons now, full. He came into the first season under Ten Hag. He played last season altogether. And he's now getting the number 7 spot. No, not number 7, but the starting spot for United. And I just think for me, it's like, we need to hold him accountable. That's all it is for me. Like, yesterday was criminal what he did yesterday. Like, generally, his overall play was criminal. And I just think for me, I criticize him based on not only the performance yesterday, but I think throughout the whole season. Yes, he's got goals. And yes, he's probably our most player that's got a lot of output. But I'm sorry, some of his play has become selfish now. He doesn't want to pass the ball. He thinks he's the best player on the football pitch. He thinks he's better than everyone else. No, you're not. Yeah, you are a team player. You're part of the team. Pass people the ball. That's all it for me. You need to stop being greedy. Would you rather have there when you're there? Simple.
Would you rather have Garnacho or Sancho?
For me, Sancho not here, so there's literally no debate right now. But I would have him. I would have him. Of course, I would have him. I would have Sancho all day long.
Over who?
Over Garnacho.
Sancho that was a start.
One's not.
Wait, Sancho that doesn't start at Chelsea. That's the one you rather have.
He doesn't start at Chelsea.
Now we're starting to see. He's been ill. It's a agenda, bro. It's a agenda right now. What is real as real as the earache that he had last time, bro. This sounds.
So you believe Garnacho should be starting week in, week out for Man United?
Did you believe Ten Hag when he said that? Did you believe Ten Hag when he said that he's got an earache? We didn't believe that crap.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Are we believing that Garnacho's a starter now? Yes or no?
No, he's. I would say Garnacho. Yes, I would say he is a starter. Actually, he is a starter.
I would disagree.
He should not be starting.
He shouldn't be starting. But then you look
as
who's
regular as he started.
But who in
the eyes?
I'll tell you.
At our club right now, let's use Man United. Let's not use other clubs, guys. Owen, let's not use no other clubs. Let's use us. Who should be playing on the wing for Man United with what we have? Go ahead.
For me, Ahmad is a better player than Garnacho. He's clear of Garnacho. He should be starting on the right-hand side. And Rashford should be playing on the left. Simple.
So we're back to Rashford again. Project Rashford. Give him another chance.
No. You just asked me a question.
Is this the agenda? You said this agenda. Is this the agenda?
No, it's the agenda, bro. No, but I'll be honest with you guys. I think that out of the players that are there, he's been the most likely. Yesterday, at least, the one difference is he will still try to run at his man. There's the difference with Rashford. There was a moment where Rashford just did this weird little flick thing, yeah? Rashford's not taking on his guy and just getting at him. I don't think... How many did Rashford do in that game yesterday? Even though Garnacho was crap.
Yeah, look at that, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's crazy. Roughly. But yeah, go on. You're back,
KG. Maybe he doesn't trust it. No, he's not back. Oh, your delivery's looking kind of Garnacho-ish. It is looking kind of Garnacho-ish. You still can't hear KG.
Yeah, man.
Still can't hear you.
Man. Yeah. They're like gone. I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Get out of here, man.
He gave up.
What are you saying, man?
No, do you know what? I do think you're right in the sense of Garnacho for me isn't a every single week first name on the team sheet starter. That's not what it is. The problem that we've got is we're really actually limited in options. And this goes back to what Amorim's inheriting when he go, actually, I tell you what, because he can only deal with the players he's got right at the moment. And that is that's Garnacho, Ahmad, Rashford. I'm not even factoring in Anthony, to be honest with you.
No, right now.
You hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Good. Sorry, just quickly.
We've moved on for that conversation.
No. We can't just run away. Can't run away from it. Listen, Garnacho, all I'm saying is I just want us to be careful that we don't just ruin a youngster. You know, they say that this place, we have to look at everything that's wrong with Man United. Youngsters, managers, players, everyone comes to Man United and something bad happens to them. They say it's where careers go to die. Yeah. And we got a player who's showing signs of something. I don't want us to ruin him as a community. That's all I'm saying.
Could we ruin him by overplaying him because we don't have any other options though? Because that might be a legitimate thing. I mean, he played too much last season, didn't he? Because of injuries. We didn't really have other options. Now it's a case of, that's what I was just saying to Saeed, you're going, well, the only other option at the moment, the best one would be Ahmad. And then we're into the territory of going, right, Ahmad, Rashford. Well, if Rashford starts dipping like he could dip, then it's Garnacho back in and we'll go, Garnacho should be playing as much. You know, it's a bit of a vicious cycle. We are so limited in terms of options at the moment. Big up, Adam.
Absolutely.
Guys.
What's going on, Adam? I'm just trying to put Saeed's feet to the fire in terms of saying don't treat Garnacho the same way we treated Rashford and ruin a player mentally. I know I know there's signs of arrogance and stuff, but we have to do things different. We have to learn even as fans, there's things, and it's brave coming from me when I'm talking about Zirkzee being faster than Zirkzee. Like, it's like I can sense the hypocrisy from the words that I'm saying. But the one thing is, I already know that Garnacho can deliver at moments where I feel a bit different with the Zirkzee thing. With Garnacho, I think he's the best of a not great bunch at the moment, and he is the future. So I
don't think he is as a starter. I don't think he is. I've got an unpopular opinion. I think next season, if Man United are starting Garnacho and Rashford, then we're effed. I can't lie. We need new wingers.
Both of them.
I think, you know what, I don't think that's necessarily an unpopular opinion, mate. I think we're all in hope that that's not going to happen. I think what I get what both of you saying. I get totally what KG is saying there more than anything. I've just done a whole sort of day around Garnacho and talking about the pressure that's on our young academy players because of the failures of the bigger players. It's like all of a sudden we've escalated these young academy players to be our best hope because we've had nothing else to hold on to. Like the amount of poor recruiting has now got to a point where it's affecting our academy players because we're that fed up as a fan base and we're expecting things that are not there in reality, that the pressure has got to this point now where Garnacho is scrutinised. We're talking about players that are not even over 21 yet, that have got the whole careers ahead of him. Mainu's getting the same stick as what Garnacho is.
Yes.
Rasmus Hojlund was brought in as a 21-year-old to do a job that a world-class striker should be doing. I did a thing, I said it earlier on my show, I said, for me, Rasmus Hojlund now is in the same position that Danny Welbeck was behind Chicharito, Van Persie, and Wayne Rooney. That's the type of player that Hojlund is. But for some reason right now, he's at the top. And that's down to the recruitment. And Garnacho's been forced in because Ten Hag's recruitment was that shit. He had to come in and do something. And don't get me wrong, when talent's there. You blood them in and you see what happens. We've done it all our time through the decades at Manchester United, as we know. But I just feel right now like everybody wants answers that are just not going to come. And unfortunately, our academy players are now starting to get the brunt of it. Well, other players are just festering in the bleeding treatment room or sitting on the bench, rotting away on absolutely astronomical money. Let's not forget, Garnacho's not a 250 grand a week player. He's 50 grand a week teenager who's just come through the academy. Mainu's pretty much the same. I get what Saeed's saying totally as well. Like next season, like you'd expect to start seeing more progress because if you're good enough, you're old enough, and that stays with it. And if you're playing consistently in a team, you'd hope that progress would come. But then, like what Roy Keane said yesterday, and I only heard it late last night, was you don't get time at Man United like you do other clubs. And that's that pressure that shouldn't be there. So the recruitment has to step forward at that point and take that pressure off. But it's been shit. And that's why we're in this absolute mess that we're in, I think, with some of the younger players.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head perfectly, man. Man United, we don't have a bagsman. We don't have someone that's a senior scorer, and the people that we should be looking to. I know I came under a lot of critique yesterday because I said that Rashford should have done better on the volley. You know that volley that it went over.
That was tough, man. That was tough, man.
It's a tough, but then I'm like, the players that are expensive, the ones that are on the wicked contracts, I expect more from. I expect Bruno to be getting goals, and I'm not getting the goals from the senior players. Rashford's a senior player.
That was the other thing that actually Flex said this morning, Saeed. He said that I can kind of see where Saeed's coming from with the Bruno Fernandes stuff. He was starting. Well, because the point we were coming to at this point, I remember when Erik ten Hag came in, there was all this discussion, wasn't there, going, Erik ten Hag, Bruno will adjust. Bruno will adapt his game. We have Ajax fans coming on saying he will adjust. And what we really saw over 2 and a bit years is Bruno didn't adjust, right? He's fundamentally the same player that he was when he signed back in 2019, whenever it was 2020. And now it's a case of people saying it again. When Amorim comes in, the system's going to suit him. He's going to be in this 10 role behind the 9. And actually you go, is he going to adjust? Because he's 30 now, isn't he? Right? He's 30. Right. He's probably not going to really change his game all that much. And is Amorim going to have to adjust to Bruno? Because Bruno's not going anywhere. Just signed a new contract as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Amorim does handle him, is it not?
I mean, if you just play him like he does for Portugal, disciplined, like he does for Portugal, it obviously helps when you've got better players. And obviously Bruno's been built up to this stature where he is the best player at United. Whether you think that's right or wrong, I think that's how he actually feels. He's been made the captain. If you look at that Portugal side, he's always going to be in the shadow of bigger players because there are better players at Portugal in that side. And I think he's just in that position. I think we all seen it. He took it upon himself to try and do every man's job on that pitch. There's no discipline positionally from Bruno Fernandes. You're not going to get that with Amorim. Everybody's position is pivotal you have to do your role. So let's see, is all I'll say. Like I said, I get the age factor and that coming in, and there's no real future with Bruno Fernandes. We have to look past him eventually. But and this is why I would go for Angel Gomez. I would go and get him. I think he's a perfect replacement, especially on the budget.
But free, is he available? Will he be free?
He can negotiate a contract in January to move for free in the summer.
Oh my God, I'm back.
Yeah, that'll be a lovely signing for me. But going back to giving time then. So are you gonna give time to Zirkzee then? KG, since you're talking about time and whatnot. Since I'm saying, look at his how you waiting now? Zirkzee is a young player.
Guess what? Yeah. I'm gonna answer the question. Go on. Brother, he's gonna get time, yeah. But like, I hope his speed. His speed, yeah. I think I've made my mind up. Workhorse is better than Zirkzee.
That's what I'm saying, man. We're not serious, man.
He is. Workhorse is better than Zirkzee. I swear to you. You saw that. Wait,
He's going.
Like, come back. Hey, Saeed, I swear to God. And even the national team know that, bro. Even the national team knows, Saeed. Come on, bro. It's done. Wait.
Oh man, are we actually doing Workhorse revisionism? Are we actually doing
not even the Premier League. The Workhorse that we had, bro, not even the one that could score in that. Just whatever version that we got is better than the Zirkzee that we have right now. Is that fair to say? Whatever version that we had, yeah, is better than what we have right now.
You got to remember, Workhorse is an experienced player, right? And he played in the Premier League beforehand, so he's been in the Premier League a year beforehand with Burnley, and I don't think he scored. I think he scored 1 goal for Burnley in that time. You know what I'm saying to you? So this is a player you're glorifying, by the way, yeah? This is a player that's
I don't rate Zirkzee, you know? I mean, I don't rate Workhorse. I just think he's better than what I have right now.
No, but but you're looking at right now, and right now, obviously, he's struggling right now. But the problem is, you got to remember, yeah, this is a Zirkzee that's come from Bologna. He's having to adapt to a broken system, a team that is not scoring goals, a team that is struggling to pass to him, a team that, let's be honest, man, is so dysfunctional in terms of Rashford is coming off early, and that's the one player that he actually likes to link up with. Your Garnacho doesn't really want to pass to him. Like, seriously, man, we have got no creative midfielders. Let's be honest. Like, there's nothing going on up front, bro. We are struggling to score goals, but yet we want the beacon. We want this, someone to come in and fix it and change it. I just think it's so crazy. He's adapting to the league. He's understanding what the league's about. And right now, he's coming to a team that, bro, can someone bring up the graph, please? Can we talk about this? Guys, did you see it? XG and all that you all talk about, we're the lowest in the league. Shot conversion, the lowest in the league. Everything's low. So what do you want Zirkzee to do?
You got off your chair. Let me ask you, what do you want Zirkzee to do? You got off your chair and moved faster than Zirkzee did, bro. You got off the speed that you got off your chair.
What do you fundamentally want Zirkzee to do? Like, what is it you're looking for?
Do you know what? I just like a bit more pace, bro. If we
he wasn't that. He wasn't that though, was he, KG? You know what I mean?
He looks tired. He looks tired off the bench, bro. He looks tired off the bench. That's mad. I want a fit player. I just want, even if you're not quick, Zirkzee. I mean, Workhorse was not fast. He wasn't, but he could press. He was fit enough to get around the pitch, bro. That's at least be a problem.
What did he do with the ball, though? What did he do with the ball? Like, what did he do? Nothing.
What does Zirkzee do with the ball?
Zirkzee, at least, is tiny in possession.
You know what it comes down to?
Control is better. Like, come on, bro. Like, the fundamentals of a player is better. Bro, listen to me. The biggest thing to me is that
it's all coming down. It's all coming down to the recruitment there again. Like, we're just talking about players there that are not working. Like, it's I just made the comparison with where I think Rasmus Hojlund is. It's like, if he is Danny Welbeck behind Hernandez, Rooney, and Van Persie, then Zirkzee is probably Welbeck. He's like a third choice striker. They're third and fourth choice strikers in the old Man United sides. If we had 4 strikers in, there should be 2 more in front of them that you can rely on to get goals,
bro.
And these are our reliable sources. I don't see where Zirkzee fits in at the moment because I don't know the player. And again, it's that no time to actually fit in or adapt that I'm worried about.
Could he fit an Amorim system? Do we think he could fit an Amorim system?
No, I don't right now. I don't. Just going off what I've seen, like he may come back. Like I want Amorim to come in and get him by the scruff of the neck and go, "You're my man. We're going to train you up to work in this system, and you can be my guy." And we'll see. But as I see it now, I think Ahmad comes in before him. I think Bruno will play as the shadow striker ahead of Joshua Zirkzee in an Amorim system right now. I think that's how he'll do it as well. I don't know. I think there is somewhere for him, but I honestly cannot answer the question because I haven't seen enough of him.
No. Let me land one point before you go. Yeah, this is why for me I've been fair and objective on both strikers. I've not done the thing of Hojlund versus Zirkzee. I've been comparing them, both of them. I said, you know what? They both still need time. Hojlund for me on the other side has got pace. He's got durability in terms of running behind. But hold on a minute. He can't even control the ball. He's having wrestling matches against Fofana. They both have problems. They've both not been coached well enough. That's where, for me, I focus on the bigger issues rather than saying, you know what? Let's blame it on Zirkzee. Let's blame it on Hojlund. Why are they not getting? Why are they not finding angles to go run into? Why are we not helping them out? Why? You have to ask the bigger question of why.
Yeah. But then the bigger question, Saeed, yeah, is because I'm with you on that. Like Hojlund is on UFC settings, and he just needs to instead of fighting defenders and not winning, just running behind, bro. Take a moment, take a shot, get your shot off. And I've seen the way that Amorim's style or the way his team plays, they play really centrally. So he should be getting enough opportunities a game where he can make those runs. Now the difference is, I know no matter hell or high water, the other guy ain't running in behind. He's not running. And my thing is, I just want him to be fitter. That's so my issue.
Running behind, that's it.
No, I need him to be fit. He doesn't look fit, bro. He doesn't look fit as a sub. That's my issue. He actually does not look fit. That's the biggest thing we're seeing. The ball come to me like, we're not getting anywhere with that. So then after, when you're lacking in pace, what you have to do, the other things have to be incredible. Like if you're lacking that, let's say you're lacking in pace, so in the air, you're a bit of a monster. On the ball, no one can knock you off it. There's things that you have to almost supplement for the lack of that. And the supplementing pieces are not supplementing, fam. You don't look after the ball when it comes to you, like at height. You don't even, bro, your first touch ain't even incredible as they told us it's gonna be. I'm not seeing anything yet. If I'm being real.
From anyone though. So what have you seen from Garnacho?
You didn't see the Palace game, did you? You didn't see the Palace game. That was Zirkzee's best game, was the Palace game, actually. And when he got taken off in that game, everyone did say Erik ten Hag shouldn't have taken him off because our attack actually fell apart in that game. I don't know. I agree with Adam what he's saying before, though. It goes back to, and we said this a few weeks ago about Zirkzee, didn't we? We went, but okay, you've bought him. Did you have any plan for him in terms of where he was going to fit into your team? Did you? Because you must have known what type of player you were getting, and it just makes less and less sense as time goes on because you can't see where he fits.
But they said it was and again, I'm preaching to the choir here. You, KG, talked about Ineos thinking about the bigger picture, we're thinking about the future, but yet you're all of a sudden knocking out Zirkzee, who's meant to be in your signing, already you're abandoning it. They're saying it's for the future. They're saying he's going to be for the next manager in terms of our style. It's going to be beyond a manager. He's for the future. So all of a sudden, are you going against Ineos' plans now? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, sure.
His mic's gone.
Time for goals.
Yeah, man. You're waffling.
For sake.
That bit works.
So,
how?
You're going against what Ineos want then. When you told us
I'm back.
About the process.
Yeah.
So this is it. I'm not even asking for goals. It's not gone again. It's not gone again, is it?
No.
It's just the way you attack it. Then it's like,
bro, I'm asking for fitness. That's what I want, is fitness. I'm not even saying, bro, go out and score me 2 to 3 goals a game. I just want him to be able to look like he can get around the pitch as a young man. That's what I'm asking for. As a young man, can you get around the pitch? I'm not even saying goal and assist. Brother, Can you move on this pitch? Can you press?
Nistelrooy on that one, actually. Ruud actually said the other day in his press conference, or after, I think it was the embargoed version, he was talking about Joshua Zirkzee, and he's talking to him talking to us like he's a number 9. He's trying to like make him. He's not a 9.
Yeah,
he's not a natural. You watch him back in Italy. He's carrying the ball from his own half. He's taking players on. He's arriving late. He's a natural 10. He is. He's a 10 with a little bit of a difference. That's what he is. But Manchester United, like the one area of the pitch we did not need a player in, that we have got an abundance of at this football club, is 10s. Why did we bring this guy in? Honestly, like if you're not going to utilize him for his best qualities, and this is the thing that we do with every single player, and I've said this loads of times, we buy players in because they've got a quality. They've attracted the club in to go and scout them because they've got a certain quality and they're doing things at that team. We bring them here and then we just change them. It's like, no, we're not gonna do what you was doing well over there, where we actually seen you in the first place. We're gonna change you and turn you into a different player. We do it with everyone. We've even managed to do it with Onana, the goalkeeper. He doesn't come out of his fucking box. No. Like this guy played sweeper in the fight. This guy played sweeper for Inter Milan brilliantly, constantly. Even Pep Guardiola was going on about it after the final. He comes to United. Man gets a nosebleed every time he goes out of the box. Honestly, he just looks like a rabbit in the headlights.
And his long-distance distribution is a myth, by the way. It is a myth. His long-distance distribution, I'm telling you, is a myth. I'm telling you. That's what I was about to say. In terms of long-distance distribution, him and David De Gea, there is actually no difference. The only difference is centre-backs are way more comfortable passing the ball back to Onana because they know he's going to score up. Well, that kind of 5-yard pass, no, I'm in trouble, he's my out ball, fine. But long distance, there ain't no difference between David De Gea and Andre Onana because it either goes straight, back over the top, or nowhere. There is no difference.
The short passes are better, but the long range, it's not. And
I don't know. I think he holds on to the ball way too long.
Way too much. Leslie don't like him, honestly. Like Leslie's had enough. Get rid of the ball.
Same guy. Watch my honestly say like guy behind me, Nick. He's exactly the same. He just jumps up and has these outbursts like pass the ball.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he just goes nuts. Like he's going to send people to hospital and Anna with the way he plays. Honestly, like he puts the fear. He puts so much fear into the way he plays.
He's been better than
he is. He has.
The killer is he's actually had a he's doing well. He's the best.
He's nagging a job longer than what he should be on Anna.
Well, defensively, we're fine, aren't we? Defensively, we're actually
as well.
We've only conceded, I think it's one more goal than City and Arsenal. You know, so that's defensively, it's not the problem. It's we just can't score.
No,
we're not going to score.
Let's not go too far. That bozo gene that we see all the time, and we're not being put to the sword by teams because we give people chances. We let people in and they can't finish. That's one of the
from the attack, KG. I'm telling you, because yesterday you saw it like Casper and Ugarte, like we know their limitations, technically in midfield, but they do win the ball back. We do win the ball back in good areas. It goes to one of those front four. So it's Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho, Hojlund, or Zirkzee. I'm telling you, the amount of times we go, tell you what, one pass, you're in there, and it's touch. They're waiting, don't get it out their feet, or they just lose it. And then suddenly everyone's pushed up. And then suddenly it's one ball over the top and they're in. And then you've got like De Ligt doing one-on-one defending against like Cole Palmer or whoever. And it's inevitable you're going to concede.
No, but even yesterday, there was a moment where I don't know if it's Fofana or someone that hits the post and it's a free header, mate. It's a free header. There's no one marking them. There's been games, even in like, yes, it was in the Brighton one, when there's 3 guys lined up to just head it in themselves or just get a touch on it. Man United is still making really big mistakes at the back and we're not being punished for them. There's a lot of times that we're getting away with stuff. And that, yes, that's okay in the moment. It's so difficult because we're judging this team and we haven't really got the manager here to see what we're going to play like. So it's almost... We're talking about now, but then hopefully when Amorim does come in, he can really develop a shape and a way that we play to get the best out of these players. But it's going to be very difficult for him. That's all I've learned is it's not going to be an overnight thing.
No, and I think there was a lot of talk, wasn't there, about the back three about how he would adjust like defensively. And actually, what we have seen in the last couple of games, it's not defensively. That's the problem. It's going to be getting those players attacking, getting that fluidity. It's just going to be, be mad. Just a couple of super chats quickly here. JP87 says Zirkzee versus Don Robbie at a race. Who wins? Have you seen that thing on TikTok of Robbie running up the stairs?
Nah, that.
They're saying this.
Joe
Fleming says, I agree with Saeed. They are good young players. What else? Jason says, just want to say Gary Cottrell, Sky Sports needs to get a life. I tell you now, I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's mad. He's been Pete Gary Cottrell. I mean, he did the thing obviously with Ten Hag, like when he arrived and all that kind of stuff. He was in a press conference with Ruben Amorim just a few an hour or so ago.
Bleeding week.
Exactly, literally. And he's like, can you speak in English? And Ruben Amorim's like, no, I just, I'm only here for like Mobile Week. I'll speak in Portuguese. And he's like, oh, you're giving your English fans a cold shoulder. And it's like, no, I'm not.
Why does he do that? He does it to Mourinho. Is he like the Sky Sports manager conference person where they go to like just to harass them? He was into Mourinho when he was sacked and he came out of his hotel
house.
In Chelsea. House. And I was like, bro, like, why are you following these guys for, man?
He's getting stuff out of the boot of his car. It was mad. Larry says, we keep talking about Onana's long-distance distribution being a myth, but how many assists would he have had if Dalot could finish? Larry also says, everyone was complaining about our passing being atrocious yesterday. We played a midfield of Ugarte, Casemiro, and Bruno. 3 people that keeping the ball is not their strongest suit. Ugarte is terrible on the ball. Can we talk about Ugarte, actually? Because he's another one, like every player, I guess, at the moment, it's kind of dividing opinion a bit. What kind of player is he? Are we expecting too much of his passing game a bit? Because he's actually done all right, I think, the last few games. He's just a ball winner, is he not?
He is. Like he's not that he's not that type of number 6, is he? He is the old school win the ball, pass it to the next flair player that you can see in front of you. I think that's what he is. I don't expect him to be like when Amorim takes charge, he will be dropping back in for a centre back who goes forward into the midfield. That was his role. So centre backs have the license to move forward out of passing out from the back, and Ugarte will sit back in to centre back. He plays centre back for Uruguay as well. He's very comfortable there. I don't think he's the perfect player to take the ball on the half turn and carry it. I don't think he's got them attributes, and you can see that where he's played. He doesn't get any assists. He's not got hardly any goals in his career. He just sits in front. He's a protector. He is. He's like a Makalele type of player, isn't he? Just going to stay there and be happy to tackle and be hard to beat and give away endless amounts of fouls and run that red card line right to the end, because that's what he was doing. And that's why Lindelof had to come on in the end. But passing, I've not seen anything that fills me with confidence from him, but I don't expect him to. There's other players there that are supposed to do that. And I feel like we will see an Ugarte when Ruben Amorim comes in, because he knows what his game is, and I think that's when we start judging Ugarte properly.
But according to his fan base, they've written him off again. You know what I mean? Zirkzee's been written off, and now Ugarte's been written off. He's writing off.
To be fair, he's right. Said's right on that, because I was doing a stream the other day, and I was getting this was before Fenerbahce, and I was being told by people that Ugarte was one of the worst signings we'd ever made. Exactly. And I was going, the guy has started like once or twice and had a couple of cameo appearances from maybe a manager that didn't even want him, by the way. And I was saying he's terrible. That's crazy.
Our fan base don't deserve anything, I swear down, man. Because for me,
we do. We deserve titles.
No, we don't deserve anything, because what we do is we write players off all the time, bro. And
what are you talking about, bro? You said Bruno is personal. Bruno. You wanted to see Bruno
5 years.
You want to see Bruno in the car park, bro. You didn't deserve
5 years, bro.
Bruno didn't deserve those threats, bro. Bruno didn't deserve those threats. That's what I'm saying. We're all hypocrites, bro. That's what I'm saying. Someone could drop all this stuff.
For one of the guys,
all hypocrites, bro. You said you want Sancho back over Garnacho. You're a madman. You are on drugs.
That's based on ability, though. That's based on ability.
You're on drugs, bro.
My thing is with me is that
slander.
Ugarte, I think I disagree with Adam in terms of the Makalele. I think he wants to be more of a Kante. I think he wants to drive with the ball. I think he's more of a runner. I think he's more of an 8 than a 6. I generally believe we're misprofiling Ugarte. And you know what I love about him? What I love about him yesterday is that we see tactical fouling in the game. We see little niggles here and there, leaving it on one player here. Like we needed that.
Kante, though, I think Kante is a step way too far.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think
Kante is good. Kante can do things that Kante is world class.
You don't understand what I'm trying to say. I'm saying a guy in terms of being a box-to-box, in terms of driving with the ball. I'm not saying he's a Kante, because Kante, everyone had this illusion that Kante was a sitter. He was never a sitter. He was one of them that he wanted to drive with the ball, carry the ball forward. And I think similar with Ugarte is that we're misprofiling Ugarte in terms of him being a sitter. I think he wants to go with the ball. He wants to drive with the ball. He wants to make press high up the pitch. That's what he wants to do. He wants to win the ball high up the pitch. That's what we should be doing with Ugarte. But as of now, we have to play this double pivot in this 3-4-3 system. I think him and Casemiro have done well since they played. I don't think they've had a bad performance together. Yesterday, the midfield was good. Yesterday, we didn't get outnumbered in there. We didn't feel like we were outpowered in there. It was good yesterday. I enjoyed that midfield yesterday. It was a good battle. Lavia had the ball one time. We had the ball one time. Caicedo was good yesterday. We also were good with Casemiro yesterday. So it was a good midfield yesterday. It was a good balance in there. Obviously, it could be better and we could be a bit more functional in terms of our attack. But overall, I think the midfield was spot on yesterday. I really do.
They had a battle with Lavia.
Sorry?
They had a good battle with Lavia and Caicedo.
It was a good battle, man. We didn't get outnumbered. It's just that people want Ugarte to be the next coming of whoever. Like, relax, everyone. Relax with your expectations. Chill out and stop thinking that a player has to be ready 2 months into the role. Like, some people are ready straight away. Some people need to take time to adjust to the new to the new system and what they're playing. Right now, we have no system. We don't have a manager.
That's the
Let's
problem.
wait till Ugarte comes in, and then we can say, right, you're not playing well. Maybe we need to find a new solution for you. But everyone just chill out, man.
The problem you have got with any new player is like we're talking about Ugarte's qualities. He will be that sitter playing with the centre backs for Ruben Amorim.
Yeah,
that's where he played before. But what you've got to look at there is, like I say, just touched on it there. It's like no player is going to thrive or feel confident on the ball. Ugarte will probably get better at passing, but until he starts to build up partnerships and know who he's playing with in that team and know what system we're actually playing or where players are going to be naturally. Like, when have we actually had a confidence in our team where you put a ball into an area, the player's going to be there? Like, that used to be second nature to Manchester United teams. And that is what it is like with other Premier League teams. It's like you're in a bit of a pickle. You know where the ball goes long. You know a certain player is going to be there. No one knows where any player is playing at Manchester United right now. There's no one staying in the same positions. No partnerships are growing. There's only really, like, for me, this season, the most consistent player has been, and funnily enough, talking about new signings, I think De Ligt has been a steady 7 out of 10 nearly every week. And Mazraoui has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely phenomenal. And there's 2 new players that have adapted instantly to Manchester United, even in all of the shit, I feel. So, yeah, I think when the system is in place, I think Ugarte will come into his own. I'm not worried about him at all. You don't play for Uruguay continuously and like be in a team like Sporting when they were doing what they were doing under Amorim and then off to PSG. He's got qualities. I just feel like it's like say they're maybe a bit longer, but he's a player that works in a system. He's not one of these superstar players. He's brought in for a very, very specific reason. If you don't play him in that role, then he's not going to thrive. He is a specialist player.
A couple of super chats here. Ash says the best wing backs are probably Anthony and Mazraoui. Well, I don't know about Anthony. Red Baron though says no, the best wing backs are KGs. Actually, referred to the lack of hair follicles. Yeah, it's very funny. Speaking of Mazraoui though, actually, let's say
what player?
Let's say this is proper hypotheticals. Yeah, let's say we have all of our fullbacks available. Imagine.
Never gonna happen.
Who starts over Mazraoui and Dalot on the right? Mazraoui. Is it easily Mazraoui on current form, or is that just actually ability at this point as well?
I think Mazraoui is better inverting from the left than Dalot is, if I'm being honest with you.
Mazraoui's played better on the left, I agree.
He locked up Madueke yesterday, didn't he? Absolutely.
Locked him up. I would keep Dalot on the right where he's comfortable at and he's secured at. And I think for me, I think they keep their positions. I think Shaw is still, for me, not it. You know what I mean? I think he's lost all of his running power. And I think for me, he's probably suited to being a left-sided centre-back, if I'm being honest with you now. So that might be a career path for him in terms of playing the back three, in the three in the back. that could be something. Him and Martinez could maybe rotate in that position. But I think right now these guys are too durable, fit, and good technical players. And I think for me, Mazraoui's been bagging the season. Listen, and I did say, you know what I mean? When we were doing the show, I said, yo, man, this guy can play left back, right back. I was gassing him up because I was like, we have got the real deal.
In the 10.
Yeah, well, not in the 10. No, definitely not in the 10.
Said went then, yeah, he did.
No, not in the 10. But I just think for me, he's for 12 million, Ineos have done well there. And even if it's Ten Hag as well, I'll give him credit for maybe sourcing, Ineos to go and get him. I'll give him the credit because that's someone that has been a success, and listen, he's at the peak of his career. He's 26. And what I liked about yesterday is that under pressure, guys, he don't care, you just get the ball, knock it down, come on, let's have it. And it's like, you need that, bro. We had players that they're just scared on the ball. Like, get the ball and just, like have the confidence. And not only does it help you, but it helps the other players to be like, you know what, we don't have to just launch it forward. And like, he generally got the ball and just said, you know what, let's play it into midfield. It's so positive. So for me, like, bro, proper. And I think he's going to be a fan's favorite. I really do.
Yeah. For me, it's like, I like the player, man. The only thing is, when Delo does have competition, let's say if everyone's back and everyone's fit, you do think that Shaw would probably be someone that Amorim would use. I could imagine him really. Shaw's a good player until he's out, innit? But he's just out a lot of the time. That's the biggest problem, right? Shaw and especially Shaw that's got competition, decides to be on point. And we actually saw it with Delo. Delo, when he was fighting against Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the shirt, I remember there was a moment when Aaron Wan-Bissaka started the season really well, but Delo just kind of took the starting space off him, So it's one of those things that if it is Delo versus Mazraoui, don't be surprised if Delo doesn't raise his game again for the competition.
Exactly. I think he should be in every bleeding position.
I think for me, one of the things where you just got to let it go, yeah? I think we just got to let go, sure, man. I think we just got to let go and we have to move on. We have to, make Shaw not be at the forefront of our project. Like, generally, there's certain players, and I've said it before, I think it could be Rashford and Bruno next year. Amorim's got to come in and make some very, very difficult decisions. And he's going to have to say, yo, Shaw, you're not part of my plans. You see how Chilwell has just been dropped and no one really, I'm not lying to you, you got to do that to Shaw, bro. You know what I mean? Or if you're going to do that, he's going to be back up to the centre-backs, like left-sided backup. You are not part of our project. There's certain players that just can't be part of our project going forward because we're going to have the same conversation as a fan base, going at each other. Oh, Shaw. Guys, we've got to move on. We have to move on. And that's one of the players that I think for me has got to be a non-negotiable for me. Shaw cannot be part of the project. That's just me.
You mentioned though with Rashford, yeah, though. Let's say hypothetically, right? He does play this 3-4-3 with the 2 10s behind the 9. Where does Marcus Rashford actually fit in there? Because can he be converted into an inside 10, or is the most likely position he plays up front? Where does that work?
Until we actually get to a transfer window, shadow striker and striker back up.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't mind it being because Rashford's is like a inside.
But we've never seen that, KG, from him, have we? We've never seen him play like that. I mean, we've seen him play striker, we've seen him play left wing, now right wing. But I'm an inside 10. I mean, I know maybe it could be a case of it's not totally fixed. There was that positional map. I think it was on BBC the other day saying one of them is a proper 10 close to the striker, the other one drifts.
Yes, the other one's not.
So you can maybe see Rashford being in that one that drifts. But then once again, I go back to, is that the head coach adapting to the players rather than the players not adapting to the head coach? Because it's Rashford can't do that. So you've got to then go, well, you're going to be here, but you're going to drift out wide again. And that raises questions about him long-term, doesn't it? Of going, right, if this is going to be the head coach for us for the next 3 or 4 years, is it proper adapt or die territory for Rashford? Because it's this is how I play. You've got to fit. And is that even going to work?
Oh yeah, that's got to be Ineos's sort of territory right there, because they need to back Amorim with players that he needs to get rid of. And I think that's now what we're seeing. It's going to be trial for everyone in the squad now for the next 6 months.
I agree.
And if Ineos are serious about Ruben Amorim, then we'll see some big names gone in the summer. I think what they do is for instance, what Sir Jim Radcliffe said. about the squad.
That's
it's like brutal, but finally someone of stature actually comes out and says something. It's like some players will be like, "Oh, I don't believe in me" or anything like that. Well, no, look where you are in the league, you dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, if you are going to look at that and say like something big like that in the position and the power position that you are, there's no one who can come back at you. All he can do is prove him wrong on the pitch. So really, he's laid out the gauntlet. He said, "Go on then, 6 months. Let's see what you've got. If not, you're not good enough. You're part of this squad that's not good enough." And we will see what these players are made of. Like KG says there, if Dalot wants to step forwards, he'll come forward. What's Rashford going to do? I would love to. We've not even touched on Ahmad yet, but again, when he came on, he just looked like a different type of player altogether. And I would love to see how he actually fits into an Amorim role, because there's something that he needs to do as soon as he walks through the door there, Ruben Amorim. He needs to go into that onto that training ground and put his arm around Ahmad and say, "Look, you're going to get the chance here," because he's not signed his contract.
I was going to say, convince him to sign. He's got a month to do it before people can start talking to him.
Yeah, so he's just.
Has he got 1 year extension?
In you go.
Oh, has
he got the option, or have they used that?
Okay, they've already used it.
I don't know. I think we're right into the depths of it right now. I think when he brought him, was it 2020 when Solskjaer brought him in, or 21? I think it was. Like, look where we are now. Like,
I haven't used him once. Like,
he came in January, which people forget. So we're like entering into it now. It's like January. He's here. And that's when he was signed. He wasn't signed in the summer, Ahmad, was he? He was signed in the January transfer window. So he's lost the 6 months, and like people are sort of forgetting about that less 6 months that he's got. So
you know where a minute. I was on a show with Minute before. Like, in terms of Rashford, like, I don't think he's completing 90 minutes for a long while. Like, I think it's 1 or 2.
Crazy. What is that,
bro? I think his body's cooked. You know, guys. I'll be real with you. I said it, and I'll say it again. This guy relies on a lot of power and a lot of explosion in terms of his pace. And yesterday, I seen it on the left a little bit. Don't get me wrong, yeah. You know, when he ran with the ball and he got us a corner, that was good wing play from Rashford, yeah. But he can't do that for longer than 60, 70 minutes before he kind of gasses out. And now he's not really like sulking when he comes off the bench. He looks actually knackered.
He's happy to
come off. I'm not saying he's happy to come up, but he's almost like, you know what, I put a shift in, guys, and my body's kind of like that's what I'm saying. Next season, we have got to move on from Rashford, because for me, it's like, you're not going to get he's 27 now, but his body.
But I don't think his body. I think they're just not with it mentally. I think he's not with it mentally. I feel like, you know how nobody's excited right now. We're almost in purgatory. We're just here, kind of waiting for a new manager. Honestly, I feel like we don't attack well. When I watched us yesterday, I was like, oh, we're the worst team to look at. Like, and I feel like no one wants to be there. You know, it's like I could be doing anything else but playing football right now. That's how I feel that the players go on.
So that was the attack then. So when I was talking about the attack before, you were like, no, it's not down to the attack. It's down to the individual. So
what are you talking about? You came back to, you're trying to defend Zirkzee again?
I'm just saying, I don't get where you kind of One minute it's not the player. I'm just telling you that after 67 minutes, Rashford does look cooked, though. He does. You can see like his energy's gone. Sorry?
Yeah. He's got how much is he got? He's got like way more energy than Zirkzee, though, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not here to what I'm trying to say to you is
these two, man.
You can see it, though. You can see it. You like, don't get me wrong. Garnacho stayed on the pitch because you know why?
Russians get to the bench faster, bro. It's cool.
No, I'm just saying, though, Garnacho, why is on the pitch? The pitch. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why is on the pitch?
That was a Freudian slip of a word, one. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, why is on the pitch?
Bitch.
Apologies for the language if anyone's watching. I think for me, it's like, why is on the pitch is because he has got more left in the tank. He has. And he's got more to offer. He's younger, he's more hungry in terms of just in general. Like, he's got energy left in the tank, whereas Rashford probably hasn't got that. And ultimately, that's why he's coming off. Why would Ruud van Nistelrooy? He hasn't got an agenda against Rashford. Why would he take him off? There must be a reason that they're seeing his game.
I think he's doing the same what Eric was doing, to be fair. Like, you've seen like his teams he's picked, his shape that he's picked. It's largely just kind of the same, really, what Ten Hag was doing. Crash Illustration says, Mazraoui is the best. He can play both positions at the same time. Dalot, it's time to go. Also, KG, remember what I said to you about Zirkzee, but you laughed at me. Do you remember that, KG?
Oh, we say a lot of things. We speak every day.
Yeah, he does. Breadwinner says, what club can we scam 60 million out of for Garnacho? Modern Samurai says, big ups to the panel for all the hard work. Great conversation. Forever United TV, Sai TV, and United View. Yes, big up to you. And Michael says, I think it'll end up being 3-4-1-2 instead with Bruno as the 10 behind Rashford and Hojlund. If it's 2 10s, it'll be Bruno and Garnacho behind Rashford or Hojlund. We kind of actually spoke about this earlier on. When it comes to Rasmus Hojlund, yeah, what actually is his ceiling? I was having this conversation with Flex earlier on today, yeah, and I see a lot of people say about, you know, Hojlund in like the top clubs in the Premier League, your Cities, your Liverpools, your Arsenals, even your Villas at the moment, right? Your Chelsea's going, he wouldn't be starting, you know, he wouldn't be starting for those clubs. We've last 2 summer windows, we've bought Hojlund last year, we bought Zirkzee this year. Are we going into another summer window next year with one of our biggest priorities being a striker again?
100% we are. 100% we are. In terms of the players, like where Hojlund is, I would go, if I was Hojlund, I would just show him videos of Ollie Watkins. That's how he needs to play as a centre forward. Attribute-wise, on that defender, on that last defender, and then spending him and using his power and pace behind. He needs to start learning how to play that role, because you've got the likes of Casemiro, who's always going to play that ball over the top. You're not going to get anything from the wide areas at all. It may change under Amorim right now, but I feel like Ollie Watkins is the perfect player to sort of model yourself on for Rasmus Hojlund. I think attribute-wise, I'm not comparing him, so don't clip me up on saying that he is that player, because he's not. I think he's in a position where sort of Duran is right now. He's a second striker, like just coming in for a top-class striker, and that's why Aston Villa are where they are. They've recruited well, and the system is in place where these players know what their role is within that club. Nobody knows. Like, we cannot. We're trying to squeeze Rashford. We're trying to squeeze Bruno in, Hojlund, who's the best for him. And again, we just keep on dismaying Ahmad like he's just not there. We're not going to be able to get this kid into this team at all. It's crazy. We're just trying to find a way around it. And for me, it's just poor planning from the get-go continuously. And Rasmus's ceiling, again, it's going back into the Zirkzee territory of just no idea, because we still haven't played him in the right system yet. We still don't know what his best position, or playing who next to him is the best file for him. Nobody knows. It's nearly 2 years in now when you start to judge players, and everyone will start piling in on Rasmus Hojlund like they did last season, for God's sake. He was a leading goal scorer in a really bad season. And we're still piling in on him then. Like, again, it's the complete unknown with every single player. The only thing we know right now is the defense. We don't know who's going to play in the midfield. We don't know who's going to play up front or how they're going to play. All we know is we've got decent defenders and options there. But everything else, I could not tell you. And with Rasmus, I don't think anybody will be able to predict his ceiling. Because I don't think anyone's been able to get the best out of him.
I think for me, I'm still not willing to kind of say, like, I've given up on him. I think it's going to be still unfair for anyone to do that. But what I will say is that I think his fundamentals are just not there for me. Like, his touch is not there. I think his awareness in terms of, when you talk about Ollie Watkins for me, even though he's still considerably, in terms of older than him, he's 28 now. But, like, I feel like you either have it or you don't. And I feel like with Hojlund, he just doesn't trust his instincts. He doesn't trust the ability that he is a big lad. He is like, he has that kind of physical power, and that if he needs to, like, he can, run in, and his running power is elite. Like, he's good. Like, in terms of his actual pace and what he's got, like, he's got that, but he doesn't trust him. And he's focused on too much on the player rather than the ball, which you're actually most focused on the most. You're a footballer, you're not a wrestler. So focus on that. And then when you get that ball, then you can use yourself and shield yourself. So that's what and again, I'm going to hope that the fundamentals of Ruben Amorim can help him with that, because he has got Gyökeres going from where he was at Coventry to becoming one of the most feared strikers in Europe. You either have it or you don't. I get that. But I just think for me, he lacks so much fundamentals that I'm like, I am a little bit worried. And how much can you learn? How much do you just have as a striker? And are we going to keep talking about, but he hasn't got his first touch right, or he doesn't sometimes anticipate the cross coming in? So,
Listen, clip this. Ruben is going to get the best out of that player. It's going to be great. Under Ruben Amorim, I'm telling you.
Is that hopium or is that do you believe?
I believe it. I believe it. I like the kind of goals he scored. I like when I look at the goals he scored, it gives me the hope to say that. Yes, if he can get him to not focus on just the other side of his game, where I feel like he has to be physical because he's not feeding off chances. He's not feeding off enough to enjoy his game. You know, like I think there's a strike there is a good striker there. We have to play to him and build and even I think strikers will build confidence from being in the game in the right way. This guy his only way of trying to be effective in our games right now is fighting because he does nothing else. But even getting that penalty, it was clever. He saw the goalkeeper coming. He made a good decision.
Hey, was it clever though, KG? I felt like it was a bad touch, you know. I feel like it was a bad touch. I feel like it was Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez there doesn't need to at all. He goes down, but and to be fair, though, I'd expect a Premier League striker to play for Manchester United if they see a goalkeeper coming to go down, right? This is when we go back to
some players won't go down. Some players won't.
That's a low bar, but his initial touch that brings out the keeper is not a good touch.
It's not, but I'm saying the main thing is look at the goals he has scored for Man United, though, and they're different types of goals. To say that Amorim can't get nothing out of him will be a lie. We've seen him score a range of different.
What do you believe?
We've seen him score a range of different, like fox in the box type goals. To say that he won't be able to, Amorim can't get nothing from him, won't be true.
No, I think what you're not getting is that sometimes the goals that he's got are quite unique in terms of when he's got the ball, you can see he can put it on his right and he can shoot. Like he's got that kind of like ability to do that. But the problem is though, like we're gonna face low blocks, we're gonna face different types of football, and you're not always gonna be in a position where everything's gonna fall to you. So then, what do you do as a striker that's different? You know, how do you separate yourself? Like Hojlund at the minute, it's not scoring goals. You know that, by the way, in terms of the Premier League, because he's not getting any service and whatnot. It can happen to footballers of the Haaland's level. Now, what do you do that different? You know, what are you going to do to kind of separate yourself?
I'm saying you'll see. There's nothing. I can't prove this until the manager comes and he gets him to play in the style in the system. And we'll see.
That's the thing you would hope. Look, you look at Gyökeres now, what, 26, 27. Let's not forget, Hojlund's 21. He's got about another 4 or 5 years of development, which Amorim might get more from. And, you know, he's got the same sort of attributes. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's quick. He could be, and you would look at it on paper, he is the Gyökeres of this Manchester United side for Amorim right now. I think he has got players in this team that fit his system. It's whether or not we actually build a system around our key players. So I think the big ones will be, obviously, your Kobbie Mainoo, your Ugarte, your Rasmus Hojlund up front. For now, obviously, without a transfer window, I'm thinking here, what can he do to implement his system into this team? There are players that can do it, I feel. We have got a squad there that can work. It's not going to be perfect, but I feel like he needs to just start it straight away. No, like, trying to fit players in, like, I play to the player's strength. He cannot do it because they'll just get too comfortable. Right now, he's at the bottom. It can't get any worse. So let's just start trying to change it straight away and start climbing that table. He's got like a free hit here right now, I feel, Amorim. He needs to progress. He needs to do something this season. Obviously, Ineos are expecting. He's only got a 2-year contract. Take that as the seriousness of what he needs to do speed-wise with this team. But I feel like he has got players there. If you build a team around Rasmus and you tell him to do a job, I think he's a player in there. I do. But we're not creating chances. The wingers are inverted. The greedy, the glory hunting, they're making the wrong decisions, whatever you want to say. He has created goals out of nothing, Rasmus Hojlund. You look at all his goals, like KG says, they're all different. There's never one the same, and that's because there's no system for him to play in. There's no crosses coming in, and we just don't know. We just don't know. Like, again, it's the complete unknown. Amorim needs to just take us to a place that we've not seen before with this team. Hopefully it works. It has to work, because I don't know where we go from here if it doesn't. But, again, it's all about how quickly he can get into the psyche of these players, I think, when he comes through the door, Amorim. And there's a few arms that need putting around certain players, I feel, to get them on board, because I'm pretty certain that there's a few of them that will be put out of place when he comes in.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of super chats and we'll wrap things up. Matt says, we laughed at Hojlund-Haaland comparisons, but they are similar in the sense they're good finishers that can't create for themselves and others. Joe Fleming says, 100% agree, KG. Ola says, Hojlund might be the last we lose money on and as a transfer. And OJ says, also, big up to KG, the Comedian's channel. And on that, of course, be sure to subscribe to KG's channel, link in the video description. Be also sure to subscribe to Forever United TV, Adam's channel. It's also linked in the video description, as well as Saeed TV as well. And be sure to subscribe to United View. You know what to do. Bottom right-hand corner, click the notification bell and click the like button on this video. Where do we end up in terms of likes? We got nearly 1,500 people watching. We're 10 likes away from 500. We can get to 750.
Oh, that's
of course we can. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Come on, guys.
Big up to everyone. Big up to the panel. We'll be back same time next week. Hopefully after 2 more Ruud van Nistelrooy victories into the international break, and it will be the Ruben Amorim era officially starting, hopefully. Indeed. Big up. We'll be back next week. See you later.